Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video on my channel. In this video I would like to introduce my new astrophotography setup to you. So in the last few weeks I bought a new filters and a new camera for astrophotography and I built up this new astrophotography setup. So in this video I would like to talk about the different components and just introduce the setup to you. So a bit of equipment will be new to you. Before starting, I would like to mention that this video is not sponsored, I'm not being paid for it, and all products shown in this video were purchased by myself. But now, let's get started. First of all, I would like to start with the mount. So the mount I would like to use is the HGQ5 Pro Go-To mount. So it's a very good mount and it's very reliable, which is very important in astrophotography. On the front, I've attached one counterweight, which is in this case definitely enough for this small telescope. On the top, I've mounted the Oscar ASCII A55 telescope, which is a quintuplet refractor telescope, which means it is very good in astrophotography because you will have almost no chromatic aberration, and generally speaking, the image quality will be very, very good in the end. At the front, I've attached the CWO ASIO Pro, which is basically an astrocomputer that allows me to control my entire deep sky astrophotography setup. Before talking about the guiding system I've attached to the setup, I would like to talk a bit about the telescope itself. So this is the Oscar ASCII A55 telescope. It has a focal length of 264 millimeters, which is perfect for wide field astrophotography. So for sure that depends on the sensor that you're using in combination with this telescope, but generally speaking it's definitely a wide field telescope, so the focal length is relatively short, but this is the kind of focal length I'm planning to use for this winter. So this winter I'm planning to focus on wide field astrophotography. I'm planning to capture some mosaic images, so this is what I'm planning to do this winter, and therefore this focal length is definitely very good. At the back, we can just rotate the entire camera. So on the top I've attached a 60mm guide scope. At the back of this guide scope I've attached the CWO ASI 120mm mini mono guiding camera. It is a good guiding camera that I've used for a few years now for auto guiding, and it definitely performs very good in astrophotography. Now let's go over to the new equipment, which is this camera. This is a dedicated astrophotography camera, so it's cooled. So over the last few years, so I've been doing this hobby for a few years now, and all the time I've used a DSLR camera, and it was good, but I have to switch to a cooled dedicated astrophotography camera because these DSLR cameras are limiting my results. So when starting into this hobby, you can learn a lot with these DSLR cameras, and you can capture amazing images. So I've improved my tracking mount, my auto guiding, my telescope and everything, and now it was finally time for me to change my camera as well. So I've used these DSLR cameras multiple times, multiple years, and it was good. But right now I am at a point where I need to switch to a dedicated astrophotography camera because these DSLR cameras are somehow limiting my results. So for sure this winter I'm definitely planning to use my astro-modified Canon EOS 60A a few times because it's astro-modified and it's a full-frame camera, which is perfect for wide field astrophotography, which is basically what this telescope is suitable for as well. So it's suitable for full-frame cameras, which makes it a great combination for wide field astrophotography. So I'm definitely planning to do that in the winter as well. But finally I switched to a dedicated astrophotography camera. So this is actually the first one that I bought. So to be honest, it was very challenging for me to find the perfect camera in this case because there are so many different cameras on the market. It was very difficult for me because some cameras are more expensive than $2,000, and that is too much for me, definitely. So therefore I tried to buy one of these cameras that is on the affordable side. Still, they are very expensive. Furthermore, it's very important for me to mention that I do have a bigger telescope as well, which is a telescope with a focal length of almost 800mm. So I'm planning to use this telescope for these smaller objects. But this telescope is very portable, and that's why I decided to go for this telescope, because it's portable, which makes it very easy for me during winter when there are only a few hours of total clear skies. And in order to be able to capture smaller objects with this telescope as well, I decided to go for a camera with a smaller sensor. And there are definitely a few cameras that are very interesting in that range. So for example, there's the CWO ASI 585 MC Pro, which is a cool dedicated astrophotography camera as well. But for me personally, the sensor was a bit too small, to be honest. And finally, I ended up choosing the CWO ASI 533 MC Pro. So it has a square sensor. In the beginning, I was not sure whether that sensor is really the right way to go. So a long time I was against this sensor, but over and over again I've seen so many amazing images captured with this camera that I decided to switch to this camera. So this is finally my very first cooled dedicated astrophotography camera. So far I haven't used this camera, so the only thing I've done so far is attaching the camera to my setup. I've mounted everything and tested the mount, the go-to function, the cooling. I've captured some dark frames, tested everything, so it works quite good, but I've not tested it under the night sky. So this is something that I'll be doing in the next few days. Hopefully the weather will be better. Right now it's like all the time very cloudy, so I really hope that the conditions will be better soon and that I can finally test my new astrophotography setup. So in this case, I'm using a refractor telescope. And when using these dedicated astrophotography cameras, will capture all wavelengths of light. Therefore, it's very important to use a filter in combination with this camera. Therefore, it was important for me to buy a UV ER cut filter. So there are different sizes of these filters, and the good thing about this telescope is that I can attach 2-inch filters right at the back of this telescope. Therefore, I bought a 2-inch UV ER cut filter from this camera. I've not tested it so far, but I also do have another filter, so I will test both filters and I will check which one performs better in combination with this telescope and camera, and then I'll be using the better filter for this winter, for my projects this winter. So I will also publish a review about these filters in the upcoming weeks or months, depending on the weather, but definitely something will follow about these filters soon. So just to give you an idea, so I'm powering the camera with the CWO ASI Pro. I've attached both cameras, so the CWO ASI 120mm mini mono guiding camera and the CWO ASI 533 camera, both. So I'm powering both cameras with this Astro computer. So right now I've not attached all the cables I need. So furthermore, I'll need to attach the cable for controlling the mount, and furthermore I'll need a power supply for both the tracking mount and the CWO ASI Pro. So this is actually the equipment that I'll be using in this winter. For sure I will also use the Canon EOS 60A and my bigger telescope this winter, but I guess this will be the setup that I would like to use most of the time this winter. So I'm very excited for the images I will be able to capture with this equipment. This is actually everything I've planned to mention so far. If you have any questions about this equipment, definitely feel free to ask me down below in the comments and I will definitely answer your questions. If you would like to further support me, you can now become a member of my channel. Becoming a member of my channel would really support me, and that really means a lot to me. So if you have any further questions, definitely feel free to ask me down below in the comments and I will definitely help you. And if this video was interesting and helpful to you, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, clear skies, Felix.